What is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another live stream. Props.cash today. Going through the rest of the MLB slate. We have a night slate, a bunch of good games. Actually, there's a pretty good amount of games for Wednesday. Normally, Wednesday, the slate starts a little bit earlier. But no, not today. Today, we have a pretty good amount of games left. So we're going to hop through every single one of them. Chat is always open if you guys want to ask any questions about specific players, specific games. I'm going to check my phone and see what boosts we have available at the sports books. Yesterday was a great day for the boosts. I didn't stream yesterday, but I did, of course, put some bets in a better process. And Judge home run, Gio home run, both straights boosted. I can't speak, but of course, those were first inning cash. Would have been fun to, parlay those two and just cash that in the first inning. Not something I generally do, but with that being said, I can't complain about that. Give me one more second here to get out the promotion of the stream, like I always do, and we will be getting the slate as always. So, also, I want to shout out quickly on YouTube. We have uploaded our first two tool reviews. I know I've mentioned this for a couple of times now that we were going to start putting out video tool reviews as well as some short content. Short content I have in the chamber. Just need to start getting that uploaded. But on our YouTube now, we officially have content posted for. We have a props.cash review and a pick the odds review. Of course, those are two tools that we're partnered with, but we're doing every sports betting tool. So if you're interested in learning more about the sports betting tool technology space, as well as some prediction markets, exchanges, the whole ecosystem, quick head over to YouTube and follow at GoBetSmart or subscribe in YouTube's terminology, I should say. I would absolutely appreciate that because there's amazing content coming. And if you guys are gambling and want to know some of the technology that really help you win, props.cash, pick the odds. And there's really, at this point, we have 33 reviews on the site. And also platforms to bet on as well. We have a Novig review coming soon. That's going to be awesome. Some prediction market stuff. If you guys have been following the news, seeing that Kalshi now will be offering NFL sides, totals, and props, which is a really major update. FanDuel just mentioned they're going to be doing some prediction market stuff. So very exciting time for the industry. I know a lot of people just want to focus on what we're betting on tonight, but we're in an amazing industry that is growing rapidly and it's kind of going crazy. So definitely worth it to stay up to date on everything. But the 5 p.m. coffee to keep the juices flowing. But let's get it, boys. I am putting up Underdog on my other tab just so we can see any lineup nonsense. Though props.cash always has the lineup stuff, but just in case we see some reports in, as well as I have ESPN on the other screen just so I can check some scores. We see Cleveland, Arizona's 2-1, Pittsburgh 1, Philly 1, Detroit, Houston. I had the under there. That was 8.5. I should have got the 9. Loses by a half run there, but we have a big slate. So let's go through every game. I'm going to pull up FanDuel on my phone. There's always location issues when I bet on stream, so we'll put it up on the phone just so I can look at any boosts that we can maximize, find some good value, and get some bets in. So let's go through some of the games today. We have on the slate that hasn't started yet. Cardinals, Marlins, first thing I'm seeing on ESPN and right here. So let's take a look right there. And for the boosts on FanDuel, we have a 20% profit boost on SGP, which is always tough with FanDuel. Some of their odds, not always the best value on FanDuel, unfortunately. But over on DraftKings, we'll see what we got. We have a live home run boost, another SGP boost, and a 50% three-leg boost. So we'll definitely be using that 50% three-leg parlay SGP boost. A live home run boost. What are the terms here? $5 each. Get a live MLB home run boost each time you place a live MLB home run, brought to you by Barstool. So you could actually bet this on a lot of different things. This is intriguing. Now, it's annoying because for right now, we're not going to be able to bet anything live. So by the time I'm done streaming, the games will start. But with that being said, I will be creating a list of people to target for that boost. So that is great to know. Opt into that if you have not already. I'm sure some of you guys, of course, with some games going on already, have probably bet a couple. There's no limit I'm seeing to what you can do. There's a max bet limit, so make sure you're in tune with what that is. But enough chatter, boys. I think it's time to get gambling. Let's do it. Let's do it. One more check here because I want to see how I have one more bet, but I'm filibustering. Of course, no NFL is here as well. All right, let's get to it. Marlins Cardinals strikeouts. Of course, using props.cash. If you guys aren't using props.cash, now's the time. 30% off your first month. Promo code BetSmart with football coming up. I might divert to some season futures. I'm not a big season future guy for player props, but there are a couple of spots that I do like. So depending on how long we're going, we'll take a stop and go there. Sandy and Andre Palente. Sandy, 7 cases last outing. We know his strikeout numbers have been ridiculously low. Props.cash will tell you that. Percentile rankings will tell you that. And St. Louis has been a good team in the strikeout department. But 405 minus 105. You can even get even money at Fanatics or Bet Online. What's FanDuel at? Plus 106. So you can even get plus money here at FanDuel on the under. That has my eye already. Let's look at the last 10 to see. Like, he just sits at that 4 number. It really just is a question more so of how deep into the game Sandy goes. That's really what's more indicative of like how likely Sandy is to accumulate more and more strikeouts. Cardinals lineup definitely confirmed at this point. Again, let me get Underdog MLB up so we could see any news coming in. Rays confirmed about 30 minutes ago. White Sox. All right, so we have lineups here. K rates for the Cardinals last 15, a little bit high on Gorman, and I don't even want to pronounce this guy's last name, but overall a lower strikeout team. But we still got Jordan Walker in, and now I see why this number is shaded to the over, because this is definitely the strikeout lineup for the Cardinals. So every team has a lineup that is, or just I should say, like I guess it doesn't make sense to call the lineup like a team that they put out there that is more strikeout heavy than like their average. They have some guys who just have higher strikeout rates, generally speaking. And it looks like this is what the Cardinals have out there today. So no, that makes sense that this number is where it's at. I would have expected it to be probably juiced to the under, but now seeing with the data, of course, courtesy of props.cash, it makes more sense. Dodgers H to H. They played not just a month ago, and Sandy only had 4 Ks in that game, but I don't think it was the same lineup. But this is another feature I love about props.cash. This is the historical line feature, so we could see how teams have done against certain pitchers. It's filtering by right hand. Edward and Yuri, both studs, did get to their overs on the 5.5s. Will Warren could not get there. Luis Gil could not get there. Very pitchers with control issues. Like Cabrera, I mean, he did a really good job. Dollander got there. Rhea, a lot of overs have been cashing. So this is some of those situations where, this is a team where you want to bet the under because the season-long metrics are, pointing toward this team being a low K-rate team because they are. But now the market's adjusted, and it's actually putting value on the other way. So these unders are probably looked at as better bets because there are some guys who are they have to face some good strikeout pitchers. You got Glasnow, Shohei, of course, Cease, Edward, Yuri. Even Dollander, like a young guy who's supposed to be good. Edward Cabrera, of course, is a K machine. I'm actually going to stay away from this Sandy. I thought I was going to already get a banger to start out. I'm going to be writing down everything that we bet today just so we can recap on stream Friday. But nothing from here. But we can go into some hitters. I don't think weather's too good around the country this year. Not all games. We want to stick to Miami. Otto Lopez. This is some total bases. Let's go to HRR. I'm a bigger fan of the HRR market. So I'm not expecting a lot of offense, as you can see by the odds here. Like Xavier Edwards is 170. Augustin Ramirez. I love this kid. Less 10. He's been smoking. He smokes baseballs. I mean, he does strike out a decent amount. Not really, actually. 18.9 on the season. It's been down. So his power's been down. His batting average has been down, but he's still making contact. He has not had the power that we're used to seeing from him. Only 1 home run his last 10. But he smokes baseballs. So I see why this line is juiced. What is his home run odds? Let's take a look here. We're at Lone Depot. Home run odds. Where are they? I'm blind. Here we go. 630 FanDuel. So best price in market at FanDuel. Penny with a 584. Probably not plus EV here. He's only got 3 in his last 20. So definitely not the prototypical spot for Augustin that you'd love to see. Also, there's a lot of new guys who just joined the stream, and I really appreciate you guys. I was mentioning earlier in stream that if you guys want a full review of Props.cash, other player prop tools, I'd really appreciate it if you head on over to our YouTube channel at GoBetSmart and subscribe. A lot of amazing content there, and also feel free to comment. Let's see. I think this might not be the best game for props from the hitter perspective, honestly. It's a very low expected. I know Sandy goes to the zone, but this St. Louis lineup is just so difficult to project. But here's a game that I really already looked at this morning and I like a lot, and that's Tampa Yankees. It was a very popular pick, and the odds are reflecting that. But even at this current number for Caminero plus 300, this is an EV play. If you did it, I can't speak. You dig it to Penny, it's not that great, but to Circa, which is not on Props.cash just yet. This is actually a really good bet from a pricing perspective. We all know Junior Caminero can hit dingers with the best of them. Good matchup here against Cam Shilter. I can't, again, pronounce some names here. But Junior Caminero, I know it's a 3-1, so it's not something that we love to bet. And we have some H to H here. Against the Yankees, against Schitler, he hit a home run earlier this year on about a month ago at Yankee Stadium. But the weather in Tampa, there's like the hurricanes kind of in like the northeast. But I think it's a very humid night in Tampa. We can look at some of the this is still Tropicana, so it's not really indicative. But I'm going to write down Caminero. What's his HRR? 135. If you want to go that route, Caminero doesn't really walk. So good for that prop, though. You can, like, of course, miss out on runs in that perspective. But with that being said, he is still somebody who can get that in one swing, as we know. As you see, this batting average is 258. But his walk percentage is a very low, 5.6%. Let's do some shopping. It's at BetOnline, 135, 140 at the rec books, DK 150. But at Caesars here, I'm writing that down. So first play, Caminero, HRR, and I'm actually going to put that into the DraftKings boost. So there's a 3-leg 15% boost. I am going to create a boost for the boys, of course, finding Props.cash. And I'm not going to go with the home run there. I'm going to go with the HRR for Caminero. 150, but it will be EV with the 15% boost. So that's the first leg that I'm keeping in my bet slip, and we'll continue to build on that DraftKings bet slip. If you guys aren't new listeners, new viewers, thank you guys all for joining. 15% boost on my DraftKings. Sometimes the boost varies state to state, but a 3-leg parlay. First leg, Caminero over HRR, and definitely a straight bet worth taking at Caesars at 140, or of course if you have BOL at 135. But I think it's good. It's supposed to be good weather, like I mentioned here, in at Steinbrenner Field. Okay, let's keep running down the board here. Belly went yard yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God. He went off. He went absolutely. I know the Yankees dominated yesterday, but I didn't know that Belly had 10 HRR. I know he was killing it. Definitely a different matchup, of course, today against Rasmussen. The Rays at this point dead in the water. Not even pretending like they're not. Yankees with Judge, of course, a much different animal, a much better team. Recently, last 15, Belly's been cold. Judge hasn't been great since coming back, but Big G has been cooking. Let's pivot to Big G. It's minus 105, and this is a situation where it's like, if he's not, of course he can get 2 hits. Let's just see, 2 hits. This could be at 4 against the Twins, 2 there. Let's see if there is any H to H, any BVP, I should say. 2 for 4. Obviously, from a biased perspective, you love to see the 2 for 4, though. Of course, 2 for 4, it's not actually like indicative of anything statistically, of what's going to go down there. But with that being said, what's his dinger? Because you might just want to forego 325 at Rivers, 325 at MGM, 323 at Penny. Not listed at FanDuel. I just want to confirm lineup that he's in there. I think he should be because it's showing up here. But you never really know. Maybe it's not confirmed. I'm looking at Props.cash now. I could have scrolled past it quickly. And that's exactly what I did only 7 minutes ago. Okay. And there's our answer. Judge is DHing and Big G is not in the lineup today. So that's good to know. Also good to know for different sports books, like at FanDuel, if they do not start but they still play, that bet would still be live, where at DraftKings start only. So good to know. I love how Props.cash is not even showing the odds on FanDuel, because knowing them, they probably still have it up if Villi's not starting. But this will update shortly, I would assume. But as 7 minutes ago, no Big G in the lineup with Judge DHing, so that's worth noting. So we won't be looking at Big G. We got Chisholm in the 5-hole. Judge is batting 2. Rice is batting 3. Rice is batting second. So this lineup is incorrect right here. Only updated 7 minutes ago on Underdog. Ray's lineup is out as well. Cabanao is batting 4, so that doesn't impact anything. Cabanao HRR is the first leg of the slip in our first straight bet. Let's see. Now in this stadium, is McMahon playing? He is playing. He has not been so great in his last 15 whatsoever. What's the pitch mix we're looking at for Rasmussen? More home runs allowed to lefties, though, more plate appearances. So same kind of HR through 9, probably higher against righties. 6-1 at FanDuel. I'm not trying to bet on a Ryan McMahon, not revenge game, but excuse me, you know what I mean? Like Ryan McMahon to finally break this slump and find it. That's not what I'm in the business of doing right now. King of New York plus 250 at MGM. Plus 215 at FanDuel. I mean, that's probably still value. His HRR is 150. BVP against Rasmussen, not very good, but again, small sample, a lot of strikeouts, which is never a good thing. You want to see Judge making contact. I know Judge has been a little bit slow coming back, but we know we put one to freaking Pluto last night. This is BVP, but Judge 1 yard last night, as we know. Took one to the moon. Judge HRR, I mean, it's 150. We're going to build out this parlay to at least 4 legs. So definitely could be worthwhile. Whatever his base is, just out of curiosity. It is 106, even odds at Fanatics. They're looking at the 125. DK is at 2.5. Okay, so I'm going to stay away from that, but let's keep rocking here. We covered 2 games. We have 1 leg so far in Caminero. We're not going to be forcing, of course. We're trying to find the best bets. But let's go back to Mets. Nationals, Senga on the bump. Now, his strikeouts have been sporadic this year, as we can see. Only 8 in his debut. No more than 7, which only hit 3 times. But this 4.5 number is really low. Am I missing any news on Senga with like a pitch count? I know. Let's look at his outs and kind of see what he's been throwing. Averaging 86.8 through 93 his last time out. So definitely trending upward in his best start in a minute against Atlanta. 5.27 Ks, 1 walk, 5 hits. Did not get that quality start, and the Mets into the blow in that one. I was watching that at the Circus Sportsbook in Vegas last week. I might be. I shouldn't say might be. I am absolutely intrigued by these strikeouts at 4.5. It's 5.5 at DraftKings plus 120. FanDuel hanging at 110. Prize Picks. This is a great bet if you're a Prize Picks user. This is a great square from an EV standpoint. So I'm going to write this down. I can't bet at Prize Picks in NY, but for those Prize Picks users, I'm sure a lot of you are out there. Senga. I'm not going to track this on my own, of course. I'm not betting it, but if you guys are looking to put together a Prize Picks slip from this Props.cash stream, Senga 4.5 Ks, that is definitely value. So I would absolutely look to include that in my Prize Picks if that number is still there. Swinging strikeouts, he had 5 against Atlanta. So that's a great sign with that spin rate going up. Nationals lineup, we know how bad they've been. K rates are low though. CJ's is high for him. Jimmy Barrels has been high since the All-Star break, which is just sad. But these guys are not striking out at all. So that probably shows why it's 5.5. But at 120 at DK, it's a good look. And we'll go to Brad Lord quickly. He on the K market, 3 against Phillies last time out, has a 5 and a 6er against San Francisco and Milwaukee, which are lower strikeout teams as well. So Lord, very high fastball pitcher. The Mets against righties have been going under their numbers, but this is a low number at 3.5. Irvin 3, Kirby 4. Wu got to them, but Brian Wu has been a stallion all year long. Projecting 3.46, so there is value at even money from PropStrat projections, or even at this plus 102 at Penny, plus 104 at Rivers, 105 MGM. DK hanging even money. These markets, they're tough. They're tight this year. But let's go to some offense for this one. James Wood is just so hard to back now. Soto, 1.5 all over the place. He had 4 last game. Of course, we have the revenge, quote unquote, narratives. Of course, Soto came up with the Nats. Minus 150 at DK. Let's see. I doubt. Is there any VVP? Probably not. 0 for 2. Yeah. So they did have a start head-to-head against Washington this year. He has been putting on against the Nats. I'm going to add this leg. I know Soto, he went ER yesterday. He cleaned up yesterday, but I'm not playing this one straight. I think the Cameron Arrow straight is something I loved, but I'm going to add Soto HRR to this DK boost. So we have Cameron Arrow and we have Soto. We need at least one more, but we're going for 2 more here. And Soto, just to confirm, it's still here on DK. 1.5 minus 150. So that's 2 legs in for the boost, and we have a straight. So in the prize pick leg. So let's keep rocking. Go back to strikeouts. We'll start with the pitchers as always. I skipped White Sox Atlanta, but we'll go back to Hurston Waldrep. I love this kid, man. He's been putting his nuts on the freaking table. If you guys have been watching him, he's so good. What's my team doing? Malo Lopez is not playing today. Merrill's still hurt. My fantasy team is screwed, boys. I know nobody cares, but it's just sad to see. Sad to see. I got Waldrep pitching, though, tonight. K number 5.5. So EV to the over at the 106 at Penny to ESPN and to Rivers. DK at 4.5, 140. FanDuel 152. I know the White Sox, at least the last 15, like all season actually, haven't been a big strikeout team. As much as you'd expect for a team that is like the White Sox, but I think Waldrep really is kind of that guy. I'm not saying he's like, incredible, like, but with that being said, we'll stick to this year. 4-piece against the Reds, 6-piece against Miami, 7 against Cleveland. Better K matchup here against Cleveland and Miami, but I think that this is worth it for the boost on DraftKings. It's minus 140. Waldrep, let's see how many pitches they've been letting him throw. I know that they're dealing with injuries, but let him go 895. They're ramping him up. He threw 95. Of course, he was absolutely dealing. I think this is a good look, to be honest with you. I'm going to add Waldrep to the DraftKings slip. And also, like I mentioned, we're going to find pregame home runs because DraftKings has the home run live boost. So Caminero, just to switch gears for 1 second, I love this home run, but live. We're going to wait till that game starts and bet that live to get the boost. There's an unlimited amount of boosts. I'm sure some of you guys in chat have already, bet some stuff for the boost, which I can't blame you for because it's a live boost. It's within games today, but because we can keep firing. Going to be writing down guys to take live that we're not taking now because why would we, not maximize that value for later? But Caminero is absolutely on the radar there. And I'm adding Waldrep case to this DraftKings boost. So we have Waldrep over 4.5 strikeouts, Soto HRR over, Caminero HRR over. So that's 3 legs. We can max the boost now, but I want to get 4 legs there minimum. So let's keep rocking. DeGrom, Noah Cameron in Texas, Kansas City. These money line odds kind of confused me earlier. Let's look at Cameron. Texas has been so shot against left-handed pitching. We can pull up the numbers here. Disgusting, red everywhere. But I do think Noah Cameron is not good. I've mentioned this on stream a few times. Like he's had obviously a great rookie season overall, but I still think it's a little bit of like a luck merchant. I don't think he really is that guy. That being said, the 4.5K number makes sense. Strikeout rates, middle of the pack, some low, but these are like really can go either way. DeGrom, on the other hand, Casey's always better at home as well. Not a huge strikeout team, and DeGrom hasn't been having that like strikeout season like we know, but this feels like such a low number for a guy like DeGrom, but it's only offered at $3. What am I missing here? I'm gonna do a quick Twitter search to see if I missed anything. Oh, he's not pitching. DeGrom will skip his next scheduled start with right shoulder fatigue. Is that enough said? I'll go to latest here. That was that popular. Texas Rangers starting pitcher for today is Jacob DeGrom is scratched from his scheduled start. Oh, damn. I did not see that. I'm going to go back to Underdog just to I probably missed that tweet earlier. I would assume that was tweeted out a little bit ago. It looked like it was said yesterday. I'm going to scroll through Underdog quickly. Bubba Chandler was called up. That's big. I'm looking for yesterday because this looked like it was news from yesterday. He's not pitching, of course, as we see. I just don't need to spend too much time. Oh no, we will. Here's the tweet right here. Jacob DeGrom will skip Wednesday's start due to shoulder fatigue, but won't be placed on IL. So I did not see who is pitching. I'm going to check ESPN quickly to see if they updated. It's going to be, I don't want to even try to pronounce this guy's name, Caleb B, we'll call him. So I was thinking to myself, damn, let's bet some Jacob DeGrom at 5.5. But no, Jacob DeGrom is not pitching today, unfortunately. But this is actually, in my opinion, a good thing for what I wanted to bet. And that is a Bobby Witt Jr. double, which is one of my favorite bets ever because he is a double king. As we can see here, 38 doubles on the season. Odds are reflecting that a lot more lately with that 250, FanDuel 270. Bobby has not been doubling, as we can see. He's been making a lot of contacts. He's just getting singles, man. He's doing good things there. What's his HRR? 145. Last 10, he's been cooking that. The one day I bet Bobby this week, I think it was 816 or he didn't get it because I know I missed out on a Bobby. Maybe he did come through clutch and that slip just lost. I think it was on DK. So I'm checking my settled DK quickly because I know I bet DeGrom. Not DeGrom. I know I bet Bobby. This was on. Maybe I didn't bet Bobby. Regardless, doesn't matter. I think Bobby is a great addition to this with the HRR, especially at home. Rangers, of course, not running DeGrom. Oh, it's 2.5 though. So this isn't updated considering the new news of DeGrom not pitching, even though that's been out for a while. So never mind on the Bobby HRR. Hard to look at this game now with the data not matching up to what we expected. Now we have Caleb going, so we're showing it up here. But I want to see on DraftKings if there are odds for Caleb, or they're just not even offering it. No, it's straight Cameron. So nothing we can do about that. Name of the game. What are you going to do? No DeGrom. Bad for the sport because DeGrom is awesome. Pitching the most of these pitched in forever. But we're going to have to move on because no DeGrom. Athletics, Twins. We have Ginn, Ober. Ober can be food at times. We'll look at his earned runs, and at times, more likely than often than not, he's been food. He had a really good start to the year, but it's been shelled. We know the Athletics can shell with the best of them when they get hot, though more often when they are at home. But do well against righties. What's Kurtz? That's an easy one. Let's go look at right at Nick Kurtz in the leadoff spot. I'm guessing it's 2.5, though, unfortunately, for HRR. Where's my 2.5. EV to Bovada, 105 at DK is still a good price. We can bet the alt because we're boosting. But let's see. We got Ober. He's I was gonna say he's a fastball merchant a little bit. Big time on the fastball. A lot of home runs allowed. Let's go to home runs just to get the home run splits there. Kurtz has been killing the righties with the dingers. Lefties, which Kurtz is, have been killing over on the long ball, though everyone's been killing over on the long ball. Langoliers is going on a power surge like no other, so maybe it is Langoliers. Maybe it is Langoliers for HRR or even for home run, but where is Shea? Blind. Where's Mr. Shea? It's 235. DraftKings has the boost, right? At DK. Why do you have no odds? Let me scroll back up on Underdog. Maybe he's not playing today. Maybe he's getting an off day. Athletics. No, Langoliers is catching, batting 2. But we're not seeing odds from DraftKings. Let's see what they are. Let's see what they are on the app. If it's just not showing up here, home runs, it is. It's 3-1. So it's actually a really good bet. So I'm putting that down for the DraftKings live boost. Shea home run live. So I wouldn't bet it now unless you don't have DraftKings for the boost and you don't have it. Then you can bet it live, bet it now. But because of the live boost that DK has, just wait for the game to start, slap that boost on, and bet Shea home run. But HRR, it's 1.5. This is I'm adding Shea to this slip. So HRR, Shea Langoliers -140, -140. Do we want to add Shea? He's kind of a long bowler bust. If he's hitting one, I mean, I still highly recommend betting him for the HRR for the home run boost, but is home run boost. Maybe at 140, it's probably not worth it for the HRR actually. So I'm not going to add him to the slip. We're going to definitely recommend taking him live. So for everybody on right now, we have bet Caminero over HRR straight. And the 2 targets for the home run boost, live boost on DK are Shea and Caminero for now. If you're a Prize Picks user, there is value on on Kodai Senga over 4.5 Ks, -137. So any Prize Pick user, that's a great square, and I'll try to find some more for you. I do want to bet on over to get smacked around a little bit, though. What is – go to home runs here. Rooker's 310, Butler's 475. Look at these power numbers. Holy crap, Langoliers. Save some for the rest of us. Kurtz is 195, 240 FanDuel. There's no way that's a good bet. I'm sorry to say. It could be good for the boost, actually, but for, generally speaking, there's no way that's a good bet. Going back to the Royals game, actually, let's go. I want to look at this quickly because I kind of glossed over somebody who I love betting home runs, and it's not Kyle Higashioka. Vinny Pasquantino, this 650 right here, that's a good number for a home run on DraftKings with the boost. I don't know why DK home run odds are not populating. That's a little bit odd. Normally they populate, but this is definitely EV to FanDuel. That's definitely a bet. Plus 650 MGM. I'm going to go back to that game for our slip on DK. I want to see what the home run odds are for Vinny P on DraftKings. It's 550, so you can wait for the boost there. I'm going to see what his HRR is. Actually, this will show on DK, right? Bovada 120, DK is 145. Using it as their EV book, I think it's actually a good call for this market. I think DraftKings is a little bit sharper, so I'm not going to add him there. But I think the Vinny P home run straight is pre-DraftKings. If not even using the DraftKings boost, is a good bet for pregame. So just a quick little digression to Vinny P. But we still need to add a couple more bets to that slip, so we will do that once we find them. The Miz is back. Let's freaking go. Nothing better than seeing The Miz. Just to confirm he's back because the data's been a little bit off on props.cash today. I don't see a Brewers lineup yet. I'll refresh Underdog. Make sure we're seeing what we want to see here. Cubs lineup is out. Brewers not yet. Interesting. Okay, but we got The Miz projected to go 7 against. It's definitely been a pitch count. They're not gonna run him into the ground with the playoffs coming up and with the little injury he was dealing with. They're not going to pitch Miz a ton, I don't think. Either way, he doesn't pitch a ton. I know he could do this in 2 innings because he's fucking stud. Excuse my language, but not going to be adding The Miz to anything. Colin Rea, 3.5. H against Mill, not too long ago, less than a month ago. Got hit around a little bit. Only 2 Ks, but that was in Milwaukee. We are in Chicago. Let's look at the weather. PCA, not betting him. He's been selling. Yeah, wind blowing in shy. Big time. So not a home run game as we see on the odds here. Definitely not a game to be betting some home runs. Probably not a good prop game either. I kind of like that Reyes strikeout though, just because it's so low. Fanatics 130, EV 2 penny at 153. DraftKings 140. I'm adding Reyes K's. I like Colin Reyes K's today. I know he hasn't hit against Chicago, but he can. I mean, against Milwaukee, excuse me. But he is capable. Only looking for 4 here. I think it's a good look, honestly. I'm adding Reyes over 3.5 Ks. That brings us to 716 with the boost 824. I'm locking that in. I'm locking that in. So this is the boost. I'm going to share the screenshot. I still haven't figured out how to show screenshots well on stream. That's something I will figure out, but I'll read it out loud. We have Caminero over HRR, Juan Soto over HRR, Waldrip over 4.5 Ks, and Colin Reyes over 3.5 Ks. That's the DraftKings boost for today. Beautiful. That's a max boost. Again, I am a boomer with this stuff, so I don't even know how to show this, but I will tweet it out after because we'll be have some time for the game start. But just a reminder for everybody who's tuned in, plays Caminero over HRR and Vinny P home run plus 650 MGM. Those are locked in pregame. I think you should look for a Shea home run live DraftKings boost as well as a Caminero home run live with the DraftKings boost. 3 more games to go through. Then we'll talk quickly some NFL season. Ohtani, Tanner Gordon, we're in Coors. Of course, the Dodgers are dog right now, but I'm sure we can get some value on some live 105 today, boys. It's 105 today. I know he did it yesterday with the terrible odds, but this is definitely a good game to target with the FanDuel boost. I think it might be a Freddie day, honestly. What is the FanDuel boost again? I honestly forgot. I'm going to pull up on my phone because we always have location issues when I go on stream. MLB, 20% same game for me. So unfortunately, not the move. Is it going to be SGP plus? It can be. Okay. So we can actually figure something out for that. Because it's, we can do 2 legs in 1 game. We also always use a ghost leg on FanDuel, which is always something we can have some fun with. But let's look at Freddie. 320. FanDuel 320, 329 penny. In Coors, obviously Freddie's not having like the monster power year. Only 15 of those bad boys this year. 11 against righties, which you have today. Of course, the Rockies' pen is disgusting. H to H at Colorado. No home runs this year at Colorado. So, dare I say Freddie is due. I'm absolutely adding him to this FanDuel slip to hit a home run. Plus 310 at FanDuel now. It actually has gone down. So we need to find legs from the same game. We could. What game did we really like? We kind of liked. I mean, I kind of like some Royals. If we do Freddie home run, Pasquantino home run, and Bobby Witt double. That brings us to 86.95 with the boost. It's not showing me the odds of them with the boosted, but I think that's a fun one. So I'm actually locking that in. It'll show me with it now, correct? No, it doesn't show you there. That's another parlay we just locked in with the FanDuel boost. We have Vinny P home run, Bobby Witt double, Freddie Freeman home run. So we've put together two beautiful bangers for tonight. There we go. We're locked and loaded. Hard to see with the light on the stream, which is always annoying, but we are locked and loaded. All right, perfect. So this game, not a lot to like outside of Freddie here. Moniak's actually, honestly, I was looking at him earlier. I did a little bit of research prior. This 575 is a good bet, so I'd actually write that down as well. Not trying to be a home run merchant, but with that being said, value is value. So we have the Vinny P home run straight, Moniak home run straight, home runs to target live are Caminero and Shea Langoliers, and Caminero over home runs, HRR pregame are all bets. And then if you're a prospect user, the Senga 4.5 Ks over is a good square. So I'll find one more square for that, and we'll talk about the final two games here. Then we'll talk a little NFL. Cincinnati, Los Angeles Angels, Martinez, Yusei Kikuchi. Nick Martinez can get absolutely smoked. I feel like on the away. Yeah, his K numbers are really going down on the road. Not like he's a big striker guy anyway, but his bigger K games have definitely been at home this year. That being said, the Angels can straight with the best of them. We're getting plus money at DK here. This is a good bet. Okay, this is another nice prize picks. Martinez. I'm writing it down so we can recap on Friday. Stream will be streaming on Friday, as I always do with Props.cash. Was at Bet Bash last week, so did not do any streams, but glad to be back. And this is a good leg for a expected value perspective. Minus 137 on the 3.5 for Martinez. If that's still available, I can't bet it in New York, unfortunately. No draft, no prize picks here, but that is definitely a positive expected value play right there. So absolutely recommend that as a prize pick leg for yourself. Cool. Beautiful. And let's look at some hitters. Here. Start with HRR as always. Ellie 1.5 against Kikuchi. A little left on left. 2020. Now HTH. We want some less. 5 less 10. Ellie's been hot. Just against lefties, man, those numbers really go downhill. Like really downhill. I mean, 242 honestly isn't horrible, all things considered. So it's a smaller sample. Of course, you always do pitch or face fewer lefties overall. There just are fewer lefties in the league. But numbers are just down. Kikuchi against lefties also is a little bit better. Not as much better as you'd think. Pull up home runs just for out of curiosity. Kikuchi, all of 18 of his 19, I can't say all of them, but 18 of his 19 have come against right-handed bats. So Ellie would be batting righty as a switch hitter, but let's see who's been crushing LHP. The answer is nobody on Cincinnati, unfortunately. Austin Hayes, that's somebody they brought in like solely for offense against right-handed. Oh, the lineup just dropped 4 minutes ago. Hayes is batting in the 5 hole and Duhar in the 4 hole. Ellie in the 3, Espinal, Key Bryan, Trevino. So this lineup is not correct. It just came in, so we'll give props like Etch a little bit to populate that, but not confirmed. And nobody here is a big killer of left-handed pitching. The Angels against Martinez. I like Martinez's K's prize picks. Doesn't mean he can't get hit up a little bit. Here we go. Austin Hayes. Let's see if there's any BVP with Kikuchi. 24 PA. So Hayes is a lefty specialist, but just has had poor results against Kikuchi in his day. HRR is 120. I've been smoking this number, but let's look at the rest of the market here. DK best price. Prize picks not a good square considering pricing. He's been dead on the road this year. Hard to say. I mean, they play in Great American Small Park, so of course it's a better hitters park. Let's look at some Angels. Mike Trout hits with running score position. This is a great graph to have. Most short in this last 10 has not been kind of smoking the baseball as we like to see. So no really good value here. Nothing from Mikey T. It's a tough board here. Martinez mixes up his pitches decently. He's allowing his home runs to pretty good mix of both lower or higher HR through 9 against lefties, just with one fewer home run allowed, but fewer PA. So it kind of is side of the plate agnostic. Righty killers have been Taylor Ward, and the odds are reflecting that. 355. I mean, Mike Trout's at 280. Maybe the books are telling us something there. Projecting some good metrics here for Ward today. So they do like props like Edge likes Ward's outlook. Hard to not see why. I don't get why DraftKings odds are not showing here. Kind of frustrating. But MGM 450, not to penny. I'm gonna look at what it is actually on DraftKings manually right now, because this could be another good target for the live boost. Batter props, home runs, 425. So I'm absolutely live bets. So DraftKings, again, for anybody who's new here, I'm sure you guys have seen it and maybe have even used it already. But DraftKings has a home run boost live, and the players and you can use it on multiple players throughout the live slate. There's just a max of how much you can bet per player, not on players bet in total. That being said, Taylor Ward home run at DraftKings is alive. So the bets that I think that are really good or are really good EV with the live boost for DK, Junior Caminero, Shea Langoliers, and now Taylor Ward. And home runs pregame to bet, I'm liking Vinny P and Mickey Moniak. So very nice. We have one more game. We'll talk some NFL, and I'll recap the slips that we have because we have 2 parlays. DraftKings parlay boost, Caminero HRR, Soto HRR, Waldrep over 4.5 Ks, Colin Rayo over 3.5 Ks, and SGP on FanDuel for their boost is Vinny P home run, Bobby Witt double, Freddie Freeman home run. So that is a plus 86.95. So that's a big boy. Let's round up the MLB slate for tonight. Talk some NFL season, but we got JP Sears going. Sears gets smoked by righties, and as you can see, we're expecting the Giants to stack their lineup with right-handed pitching. EV to penny at Circa and Fanatics on the over, but I'm kind of liking this under for Sears. I know the Giants against lefties do struggle in the K department, as indicated by a lot of this green. This green is saying no bueno, or as they're saying yes, that there are good targets. Ramos, Schmidt, this 25.3 is still very high. Devers, Adames, not so great. But Sears, I don't think Sears is that guy. What's his ER? 2.5 even money. We are in Petco, not in Oracle. I like this. He did pitch against the Giants on July 4th and shut them down. That was pre-deadline. So as a member of the A's, Not like he's been good, as we can see with the well, that wasn't a member of the A's. It couldn't have been. It's a deadline. I forgot when the deadline was. Was that August 1st? Feels like it was forever ago, but I know he's made some starts on this team here for the Padres, and especially including that, tough outing he had to start. Not H1 less 5. Arizona. Yeah, so that was probably his only start. Yeah, that was because the 20th they skipped the rotation spot. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I kind of like this over 2.5 earned for Sears. I'm very low on Sears as a pitcher. I know they are looking for big things from him. Obviously, he was a part of that deal of that big Mason Miller deal, but I don't know if I'm in on Sears. But the Giants against lefties, they don't have a lefty killer. Like Devers is their most home runs. That's 15. Who's cooking? Wilmer, Young-Ho Lee, Patrick Bailey. Lee, though, good numbers honestly against lefties. Maybe it's a Lee spot. I'm a big Lee guy. A little left on left action. Let's pull up Young-Ho. And we could also look at some PvP, of course, for the Padres against Rupo. I'm sure there's a decent amount of that there. Plus 110, plus 130 at DK. I mean, DK is probably sharper in this market. Lefties are doing well against Sears as well. This is a play. I'm writing that down. Lee HRR plus 130 DK. I'm going to go confirm that the line is still there because PC isn't real time. HRR Young-Ho Lee plus 130. Yep. I'm betting that. That is played. That is played. That's definitely worth a bet there. That's another pregame spot right there. So Young-Ho Lee over 1.5 HRR plus 130 at DraftKings. I think that's a great price. And the best of market is EV2BOL. Boom. So that's every MLB game. Let's take a look at some. Let's take a look at some NFL. We have about 8 minutes. I don't have any bets here, but there are some players I want to talk about quickly. Not necessarily for just their overall season-long markets, which I do recommend betting a lot more unders for, but there are some players I see some very high upside on. NFL talks, of course, I'm sure running rampant on your guys' timelines as it should be. We're finalizing our stream schedule to get as much content out as possible. But quick shameless promo at BetSmart's YouTube. Echo BetSmart, please go over and subscribe. There's 889 of you guys watching this video, so I'd really appreciate you guys, one of you guys at least, heading over there and subscribing. We're dropping sports betting tool reviews for all the biggest sports betting tools, not just the biggest, literally all of them. So if you guys are interested in some of the coolest technology in the sport or in sports betting and to see how they can help you get an edge, watch the videos. Honest, candid reviews. Going through all of them, also dropping like shorts with some highlights of some tools, some features, some functionality. At Go Bet Smart on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We'd really appreciate that. And also just follow us on Twitter. Follow me on X right now. If you guys are watching me on X, hit that follow button, boys. Would very much appreciate that. But let's keep it rocking. Let's talk some NFL. I love this player this season, and I'm just going to search him just to make it easy. Drake London. Bounce cash. What's going on here? What's going on? Give a refresh here. I'll find him the old-fashioned way. There he is. Drake London. Odds coming off a monster year. Best price here at Fanatics. I love London also to lead the league in receiving yards as a long shot flyer. I'm pretty high on Atlanta. I really do think Penix is a good player. But overall, it's Drake London's world. Small samples of last season, but with that being said, even in those small samples, Drake London was absolutely cooking. And he was just targeted massively. Targeted absolutely massively in those small sample sizes with Penix. Of course, they got Bijan. Of course, we're looking to get Kyle Pitts going. There's some good receivers over there, but Drake London is that guy. 1,100 yards is obviously nothing to sniff at. Hit 1,200 last year in kind of a down year, but I think London year 4, not like he is somebody who's like not good or somebody who like needs to like prove anything. Guy's a stud, but this is a market. This is an over that I really, really like. I also, like I said, I like him for most receiving yards on the whole season. I think he can have, I don't want to call it a breakout because, even 900 yards is second year. It's not like a crazy number, as we know, but it's an awesome number. And last year was definitely a breakout per se, but I think it's a London to the moon year. So I'm big on Drake London. Let's see who else I want to call out on stream. Who was I looking for? Again, just want to also mention that I'm definitely pro betting unders in these markets, and everybody loves to see players do well. Everybody likes to watch, root for their guys, fantasy, bets, overs, but think about all the variance in football with injuries, with, game scripts, with injuries, right? It's a violent sport. Football, I'm not telling you guys anything you guys already know, but injuries are obviously so prevalent. And I know it's a lot to like with some guys, but the unders in a lot of situations are very worthwhile. I just remembered as I was talking who I wanted to look. And as you can see right here, Bryce Young. This 17.5 at MGM is absolutely something I think is worth playing. Even with the minus 102, I think it's actually better price. I see DK has EV to the under to FanDuel, but no, I think this is a Bryce Young over spot as well. Think about the context of last year. Benched for a bunch of games, dealt with some injuries. Panthers wide receiver core is one of the worst in football. Their defense is one of the worst in football, which still is the case. And that's very beneficial for a team that's going to be throwing from behind a lot. And if you watched Bryce Young film last year, he's good. Good is obviously relative. He's not top 15, but this is pricing him like he is like abysmal. And I just don't think that's the case. Again, considering expected game scripts, I think the Panthers are also going to be a much improved team. They're a very analytically driven organization. And of course, they've invested in, McMillan in the first round. They got T-Mac on that wideout. They have Leggett, of course, coming back. Coker, people are very high on. I know Chuba, loves to score on the goal line, but this is pricing Bryce Young like he's dog, and he's not. 15 in a year where he missed a bunch of games because of his benching. And of course, again, he played so well when he did come back. So Bryce Young over 17.5 passing touchdowns, minus 120 here at MGM. Even though it's less juice at FanDuel to 102, this probably equates to like even money. So this is still the better bet. I know I just kind of preambled by saying I like a bunch of unders, or you should definitely look to bet some unders considering how things go in the National Football League with injuries. But with that being said, those are two overs I like. And there's one more that I'll call out while I have you guys. But overall, yeah, these are my two of my favorite player season-long props. And again, with Bryce, back to the Drake London, if you want some plus chicken, I'll do a quick look at some of the odds at some different books. But I do think that London to lead the league. I'm only going to look at FanDuel just because you should definitely be line chopping this, a lot more intricately to get the best value possible. But I am curious what it is because I know what it was. But I love. I think Drake London has a hell of a year. And we'll go to receiving props. Let's see, season leaders, most receiving yards, 2025, 2026. Drake London's at 16 to 1. Those were not the odds back in the day. And I say back in the day in jest. I mean, just this song is about a week or so ago, maybe probably closer to 2 weeks, but those odds were a lot higher. So it definitely got steamed in the market. Drake London is a great look. Guys, like I mentioned, if you guys are not subscribed on YouTube, what are you waiting for? Go to your YouTube app at GoBetSmart, GOBET, drop a subscribe. I go live, obviously, on X, YouTube, as well as Twitch. I'm not asking you to follow me on Twitch. I'm asking you to follow me on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Amazing content. You'll see 2 videos posted, one yesterday, one today. Dropping tool reviews, dropping sports betting strategy, dropping a bunch of shorts coming as well. So of the 950 in this chat right now, come on, guys. Let me get some subscribers. Let me see at least a couple of subscribers coming on YouTube. Would really, really appreciate that. One more future, then I'll recap the end of the MLB slate that we have going on with games starting soon. I'm not looking to like use PropStockCash right now to convince myself of anything. I already did that process, though we can do another stream on Friday with MLB, but also like kind of going through some stuff and finding some stuff together. But I do want to talk about some things that I played myself already or have some exposure on in some capacity. And I just skipped something that I do like. I'm just looking at the odds here, because this 876 at FanDuel. A lot of people are very high on Brown, and that's not who I want to target. This Genty, 1076, obviously no data as a rookie. I think this is a really good number. I'm not going to lie. I know he looks like a tank. I know he did well in preseason. I know he obviously has all the talent in the world, the draft capital, etc. The situation is probably good in Las Vegas, but I know running backs do really well. And I know if you saw on Twitter recently, there's like the debate of like, oh, like the too high shell defense is, killing the NFL because we're seeing all these receivers going, under their yards and not seeing these massive receiver seasons like we saw a couple of years ago. And running backs are, of course, getting seeing the benefits of that because they're, facing lighter boxes as teams are just trying to stop the big play. But I think if you're betting Genty this year, a good way to fade is to bet the under. I think that this number is probably fair overall, but with all the things that could happen in an NFL season, especially for a team in Las Vegas, I do think that this is a good bet. So let's recap what we got. And again, boys, I need some subscribers on YouTube. I'm begging at this point. 966 in chat, and I appreciate every single one of you. Drop me a sub on YouTube. Amazing content coming on YouTube from the BetSmart team. We have 2 amazing tool review videos. I have like 15 shorts that I was waiting to upload, which will be starting as soon as tomorrow. And enough said. Give me a subscribe at Go BetSmart. I don't know if I could drop the link in chat because I know not YouTube, but Twitter doesn't really do that. But I'm dropping it. If you guys can see that, that would be awesome. Dropped it in Twitch and YouTube. It shows up. But all right, let's recap what we have. Junior Caminero over HRR. Vinny P home run plus 650 MGM. Mickey Moniak home run plus 577 or 575 MGM. Young Ho Lee over HRR plus 130 DraftKings. Now with DraftKings live home run boost, Caminero, Shea Langoliers, Taylor Ward are all plus EV if you bet them with the boost. If you're a Prize Picks user, Kodai Senga over 4.5Ks and Nick Martinez over 3.5Ks. That's a great 2-piece prize pick right there. And for NFL futures, we talked about it. Ashton Genty under 1076 rushing yards. Drake London over, I'll pull up the exact number, but Drake London over receiving yards. The confirmed number that is the best in market. I just missed it. 1101 at Caesars and Fanatics. Also, Drake London lead the league in receiving. And then passing touchdowns, Bryce Young over 17.5 at MGM. Those are 3 worthwhile NFL futures. I'll be back on stream tomorrow using Pick the Odds. But again, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. I would really, really appreciate it. We got 900 plus people in chat here. Got to see those numbers go up. I appreciate that. And guys, we have a great slate. And the 2 parlays, I can't not talk about the parlays we took. FanDuel boost, Vinny P home run, Bobby Witt double, Freddie Freeman home run, and the DraftKings boost, Caminero HRR, Soto HRR, Waldrep over 4.5Ks, and Colin Rea over 3.5Ks. So follow me on X right now. If you guys want to sub on YouTube, at least you could do follow me on X, the platform you're already utilizing right now to watch this video. And YouTube at Go BetSmart, hit that subscribe button. Also, Props.Cash is an amazing player prop research tool. It's helped me find all these MLB bets today that we're utilizing. I have them all written down so we can recap on Friday where I stream again for Props.Cash. But if you're not using it, now's the time. Football starts in 2 weeks, and If you use promo code BetSmart, you'll save 30% off your first month. So you can start using it now for the rest of MLB, to finalize your NFL futures, and for the first couple of weeks of the NFL season. If you like it, you stay on it. If you don't, on the game. But amazing tool, and you get 30% off with promo code BetSmart. I'll see you guys tomorrow on stream.